few years back. I think it was back in 2010. And I remember clicking on 4 ads. And at the time, they paid a penny each ad that you click on. Now they pay 1/10 of a penny for a free member. And I remember clicking on those 4 ads and thinking, that's 4 cents. So how many days is it going to take me to reach my payout? Now on NeoBucks, the first payment you receive is $2, then the next one is 3, 4, 5, 6 until it's 10 forever. You never get to go back down. It only goes up until 10 and then it stops. And that's your minimum payout. And then there's no maximum. So as I was beginning, I was like 4 ads daily. Doing the math here on that, you take $2 and you divide that by 4 cents a day, and I was looking at 50 days before I reached my payout. And so I was feeling like, how can this site be so popular? I must be missing something. There's got to be something that I'm missing. And what I discovered is that there are lots of different guides for learning or earning online with NeoBucks or earning online with ClickSense, and each of these different strategies for earning with both ClickSense and NeoBucks both include referring. And so then you start to say, well, how do I refer? Because you start to, when you have a whole lot of different referrals, that's where you actually have leverage. So you're not just earning from your own efforts, you're now earning from everyone who you've referred as well. And that's what I really enjoy about these types of websites, is they help you start to learn the basics of how to make some real money online. So by just Googling, NeoBucks referral guide, you come up with all these different guides. One of these is like 101 ways to get referrals. Understanding referrals, how to get direct referrals, how to, all these different sites on how to refer people to NeoBucks in specific, but of course I'm sure that you can apply those same types of tricks to referring to anything. Now, what I've recognized with a lot of these guides with how to refer to NeoBucks is it comes down to creating your own website, creating your own testimonials, putting together some information on how to help your referrals earn money with NeoBucks, and then of course referring people and maybe even posting some proofs of payments that you've received, video testimonials. I mean, it's just very simple, very elementary almost, that these people, they've put together all these strategies on how to make money with NeoBucks. I know that people can put together those same types of strategies for earning with Adhitprofits. And one of the things I really found kind of interesting is this person created a whole business around setting up a co-op for getting referrals to NeoBucks. So I really feel like there can be real business opportunities out there that can be created by our own members to help our members gain referrals to Adhitprofits. I mean, it's so incredible, especially since Adhitprofit services can help you get referrals to NeoBucks or ClickSense or any other website out there. I mean, that's really what our services are all about. Another thing that I really wanted to share with you about earnings is we are just at the very beginning. Adhitprofits only started 5 months ago. If you've been on my opportunity webinars or listened to a couple of my videos recently, then you've heard me talk about Facebook and how Facebook started back in 2004 and how I never even heard about Facebook until 2007. Now, between 2004 and 2006, I can't find any records of how much money that they have made on pay-per-click advertising for those years, but it was something like $52 million in 2006. So in those first couple of years, we don't know how much they made. Adhitprofits, we're only in our 5th month of being online. And so the kind of revenues that we're having coming in, who knows, maybe they are pulling ahead of Facebook. We just don't know. But one of the things that I did want to focus on is what Robert, and I hope I pronounce your name correctly, and if I don't, I'm sorry, Robert Bellamy. He's been on a couple of our Adhitprofits groups, and what he had posted is this idea, and I really liked this idea, and I wanted to share it with you. And this idea is that Mark Zuckerberg or Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, invited 5 people to his dorm room in Harvard 9 years ago to discuss a business opportunity. Only 2 people showed up and they got in. Today, those 2 people are billionaires. Billionaires. And that's where I just kind of look at it and just say, well, how did these just couple of people make all of that money? And it's from pay-per-click advertising. That's how Facebook makes their money. It's from the little ads that you see off to the side of your page. It also says on this little thing that he shared was, nothing is more expensive than a closed mind and a missed opportunity. Thinking about it for too long can cost you a whole lot of money and time. Taking action now can earn you a whole lot. It's your choice, your life. It's up to you to make a decision today. And what he posted here was a reminder to us is that Adhitprofits offers high-quality pay-per-click advertising, just like Facebook does. Only we share those revenues with you. So think about that. You know, I think that's something that a lot of our members are not really thinking about, is how this is sustainable. I think there's a lot of people in these forums and groups who are saying, you know, Adhitprofits isn't sustainable, there's no way. Well, if they're selling billions of dollars in pay-per-click advertising, then why can't we? There's no reason why we can't, especially when we're inside of a $100 billion home-based business industry with everybody struggling to make money. And if we were to dumb down Adhitprofits completely, what is it? It's a traffic exchange. It's a paid traffic exchange. Only people are going to be surfing onto your website who have proven power of paying for something. They're action takers. These are people who are more qualified leads, more qualified traffic than your typical traffic exchange. So is this a good model? I would say absolutely. And I think that a lot of you that are on this call, if not all of you who are here tonight, would say that exact same thing, is that Adhitprofits is an incredible opportunity to get involved with, to grow a business opportunity, and to make money. And isn't that really what those 2 things are within this entire industry, this $100 billion home-based business industry? Those are the 2 major things people want, are leads for their business and money for their business. That's really what they want. I think it's really quite incredible what we have here. There's just a lot of people who haven't quite caught the concept of what Adhitprofits really is, because they can't see past the revenue share aspect and the no referring required aspect. But once when you start to tap into these same type of referral strategies that other websites are helping people earn, then you can really start to see a more sizable income referring to Adhitprofits, especially as we refer everyone within this industry. Imagine splitting $5 billion. Right now we've got a little over 35,000 members. If we took $5 billion and divided that over 35,000 members, that's over $100,000 for every single member. And what that means is you're actually making a better than full-time income, building your business and making money in your other business opportunities, which is exactly what Adhitprofits is here to do, is help build your other business opportunities up. Something else I wanted to really focus on a little bit, maybe not focus, but just touch upon, is we've had people in the forums, like I said, telling us we can't do it from the very beginning. And what I really invite you all to do is dig a little deeper past what they're saying and really look at who that person really is and what it is that they've been promoting. There's a number of different leaders. I say leaders wrongly, actually, because I wouldn't call them leaders at all, but these people stand out because they get involved in a whole bunch of these different forums. They grow lists, and they email these lists and these people, these groups of people, information that in a lot of ways is just false and wrong information. This particular person, known as Straws, or he's also got this blog, Do Nothing Money. He's among a number of people, and this is just in our forum under non-paying inactive programs. You can read this article, but this link here is talking about this particular criminal, and I invite you to read up on this person's background, because this person has been promoting a lot of programs over the years that are really only benefiting him with referral commissions. And as soon as he's done with those programs, and this is how it is with a lot of the people who are speaking bad about Adhitprofits in the forums. They've either been involved with Adhitprofits long enough to where they're ready to move on to something else for some reason, and a lot of those things that they've been promoting have, they're no longer online anymore. So if your leader has been promoting you to join something else after Adhitprofits and trying to get you and persuade you to leave Adhitprofits, consider what it is that they're trying to get you involved in, and ask yourself if you really see that thing being around 2 months, 3 months down the line. Adhitprofits, we've been around now a little over 5 months. We're not going anywhere. We've stayed through so many challenges and so many hardships, and even though we've had a number of members leave, they're coming back. They're starting to recognize that we really aren't going anywhere, especially since the programs that they joined, they switched, they left Adhitprofits to join these other things. They're no longer online anymore, or they're no longer paying anymore. So that's one of the things just to also focus on, is just keep in mind who it is that you're following and what it is that you're really trying to accomplish. And I think that what all of us are trying to accomplish in this industry is just trying to make a little bit more money. We're just trying to take care of our families just a little bit better. We're just trying to get to that next level of income a little bit faster so that we can enjoy life a little bit better. And that's what I just kind of look at with these types of people, is that they're just trying to take advantage of people that have these dreams and trying to tell you that you got to follow them because they know something. But they've been talking about Adhitprofits failing, and they've been trying to convince people to leave Adhitprofits for no reason. I mean, that's what I just keep looking back on, is why leave a program that is, for one, a real business, for two, actually providing real services that are really good, for three, really paying people their commissions, what they're deserving of, and you add all that together. I mean, there's so many things that people now are getting involved with. You don't know who the owner is, and you don't know if you're really going to get paid. In a lot of examples, they're not getting paid, and that's where they say, okay, leader, where else should we go? And they keep pointing them onward, and it's silly, it's sad. So be wary of these types of leaders just telling you to hop and jump and skip, because what I found that the best leaders, they stay involved. They find a home somewhere. And I hope that people see that Adhitprofits is more than just an income opportunity, but it is an opportunity for you to actually build anything else that you decide to join. So it's nothing that we should be discouraged to use, especially when you look at how much traffic that we're really getting to our website. There's also a number of people that have been saying, there's problems with Adhitprofits because we've changed. And I don't know how many people in this world have worked for real life companies, because Adhitprofits is a real life company. And real companies that I've worked for in my life, they've made changes every couple of months. And I remember there were times where we would actually, as employees, complain about these changes. And yep, I was schooled early on in my adult career of recognizing why companies make changes. And the main reasons why are to stay relevant. When you've got an ever-changing world, people that are expanding what they want and their decisions are out there, you got to make a change. Otherwise, if you don't stay ahead of what people want, then you become obsolete. And if you're obsolete, you get no customers. And if you have no customers as a business, you're not making money. And that's why it's so important that people who are seeing the changes that we're making, it's important to recognize that the changes that we're making are really to benefit the business. They're here to benefit all of the members involved. One of the companies I worked for, we were, as employees, recommended to turn in a lot of ideas to our higher-ups. And they would tell us, this is how you develop a good idea. You got to look at how it affects the customer. You've got to look at how it affects the employees, and you've got to look at how it affects the organization as a whole. And so as a business owner with Adhitprofits, I look at it in the same light. I'm not going to make a change that's only going to benefit me. I'm not going to make a change that's just going to benefit the members. I'm not going to make a change just to benefit the affiliates or just the advertisers. I've got to look at the whole picture and see how a change is going to affect all aspects of the business. And that's when a change is made, is to help stay relevant in the industry and benefit everyone as best as I possibly can. Now, there are some changes that have to be made for security's sake. Now, of course, if it's done for security, that is truly to benefit every single aspect. But sometimes those changes cannot be seen, or the reasons can't be seen. I had a conversation earlier today with somebody about why we can't have more than one pay it forward on a mini share. So I was talking about how we're going to be releasing that here pretty soon. So I don't see why you can't have more than one. And I was like, I know that, I recognize that most people can't see the dangers of pay it forward and the hackers and the fraudsters out there and how they exploit pay it forward as a tool of taking advantage not only of the system but hacking the system and using that for money laundering purposes. Lots of there's lots of things that are involved in there that it's something that a lot of people don't recognize. They don't see that. But for me as the business owner, I do see all those different aspects. And so when I make a change or set a rule or have to make some kind of adjustment, it's not to make your life hard. It's not to make it more beneficial for me. It's actually to benefit everybody individually as much as I possibly can. And I do look for ways to make changes, and there are times when people submit changes, and some of those changes really aren't going to benefit everybody. It would maybe just benefit them. I have had some leaders that say, since I'm a top sponsor, why don't you award me a certain greater percentage of all of the revenues? Those types of things. And I have had to say no, because that's only going to benefit them. It's not going to benefit me, it's not going to benefit you as the average member, and it's not going to benefit our customers or our advertisers or affiliates. It's only self-serving to that one particular small group of maybe 100 people. And I wouldn't want to do that because that would then decrease the amount of revenues that go to everyone else. So I have to really look at everything. And so when there's ideas that are passed in and looked at, I do look at them and I do have to review and say, that's a good idea, or hey, that's not a very good idea, or it's a good idea for that particular group, but it's not going to balance out across the board. So if you do have an idea, please submit those ideas, but please bear in mind how that idea needs to be balanced out among the entire business as a whole, as well as each aspect individually. Now, before I actually move on to this next concept, one of the things that I also wanted to talk about with change is there was a book that was released, and before this webinar, I was trying to find the book title and the author so I could really give you the real facts. But the book's title basically was something like the top successful businesses, and it was like something on Forbes or something, I forget. But they were talking about all these different businesses and how great they were. And a few years down the line, somebody approached that author and said, hey, what happened to those businesses? They all failed. Why were, you were lauding them on how great of a business they were, but now they're, they're out of business. What happened? And that author looked and said, well, the reason for that is they never made any changes. They were complacent. They felt that they were too good to make any changes. They felt that they didn't have to make changes because they were the cream of the crop. They felt that everyone needed to make a change for them instead of them making the changes for the market, for the industry that they were in. And that's why they were no longer relevant, and that's why their customer base outgrew them and went to their competitor. And so that's where I just kind of look at it with Adhitprofits, making these changes, any kind of change, it's really just to stay relevant and to help stand out what it is that we offer and be able to provide those things. Now, a couple of those changes I want to talk about. If you're just barely coming back and you're kind of wondering, hey, I wonder what changes you're talking about. We've added a few different things like the treasure chest. That's been a little while now, but some people are like, wow, what's this? The treasure chest is an opportunity for you to click on an additional ad and have a chance of winning some cash. Now, the people who are buying these guaranteed traffic packages, they are paying for that traffic. So when you're visiting that website, I invite you to really evaluate that website if it's something that can benefit you, because if it can benefit you, then it benefits you. And you could take advantage of those benefits and utilize it, and it also helps the advertiser feel encouraged to continue to buy more of those guaranteed traffic packages. Because regardless of whether you earn or find that treasure, which is just a random prize that you can collect, you are sharing in those revenues because every purchase is shared with everybody. A small percentage of all of those guaranteed traffic purchases are split up for those earnings. Okay. Another benefit, a new change to Adhitprofits, is we have the URL rotator. The URL rotator allows you to set up multiple different websites in the rotation, and you can have an unlimited number of rotators. So you can actually create all of these, and when you're sending them out through the different traffic exchanges or safe lists, that actually can help you get more referrals to Adhitprofits. In fact, right now that's the only link that I'm sending out as I'm referring to Adhitprofits is my URL rotator. One of the reasons I like that is it has a photograph of myself and my son on that rotator, which you can set up just from your members area within the account details. Go in there and you can upload a photograph of yourself, and it kind of brands yourself a little bit out there, help people recognize who they're joining out there. So it does help you get more referrals to Adhitprofits. It helps you get more traffic to all of your other websites as you're promoting Adhitprofits at the same time. So you're hitting two birds with one stone. And it also helps you be able to send website traffic to many websites using a single link. Another thing that we've added is a web URL shortening service, which is very similar to Bitly or MoreShare or something else. And what I really like about this is you can share links on Twitter. I mean, that's really kind of the whole point on a shrink or link shrinker is if you're on Twitter, you know that you only get a certain amount of characters to type into your Twitter tweet. So with those tweets, that helps you save room for what it is that you want to save beyond just a link. So that's one of the great things about the Adhitprofits shortener is that you can actually now share links on Twitter, Facebook, email, or anywhere else. And the nice thing about that is it can help you get referrals to Adhitprofits as you're sharing the links that you share anyway. And by doing that, you know, on that URL shortener, there's an advertisement. Actually, there's two banner ads, but underneath that it says place your banner above for starting at just $10. If someone clicks on that, or if they click on the Adhitprofits or the AHP Share Me logo, and they go to ahpshareme.me, I'm sorry, ahpshare.me, if they go there, they are your referral. So when they sign up, they're your referral, and you collect any commissions on anything that they purchase. So that's one really great thing about this URL shortening service is it's for you. You can share Adhitprofits on Facebook now, and there's lots of really great benefits to that. One of the changes as well is with the directory listings, you're getting 1,000 visitors still. It's for $45 still. You still share up to $56.25 on each of those purchases that you make. Just right now, only one of those purchases will be receiving in revenues, and that's mainly because, like what I was mentioning before, we've had a number of people stop using Adhitprofit services. So what we're trying to do is get everyone to start using them. We've been actually having a lot more success in bringing more people into Adhitprofits and using our services. So throughout time, especially as I was mentioning with Facebook, they grew their revenues over years. Okay, Adhitprofits 5 months old. So let's look at this from a long-term perspective with looking at this instead of only in just today speaking and saying, you know, this isn't going to last much longer like what these people are saying in the forums. Of course, this is going to be online for years and years to come. So just focus on that and see that as just being one. Right now with the $45 shares, you can have unlimited in queue. Once when this one fills up to the $56.25, then one of those that are in queue will then be released into the directory listings or into being actively sharing in the revenues. And as everyone is inviting everyone to use Adhitprofit services, we'll have more and more revenues. As that occurs, then we'll be able to release more and more of those shares and bring that back to being unlimited. Okay, but just right now, we are limited on revenues, and we want to make sure to spread those out among everybody the best that we possibly can. And so that's why we say just one active at a time. With the text ad minis, you're getting 200,000 views. So this is a new feature for many of you who are just coming back to Adhitprofits. The text ad is $10 for 200,000 views. And these text ads are appearing right here on the top of the page. And what you're seeing there is it's scrolling, so that helps catch people's attention. So that's $10 for 200,000 views, and then you're going to share up to $12.50 on those, and there's 100 active shares on that. And as you decide that you want to purchase a lot more, you can have unlimited queued at this time. So that's pretty much some of those new advancements, new things that are to Adhitprofits. Now, one of the things that some people have also recognized is that we've bumped into some challenges since the very beginning. We've had maybe some site glitches. We've had people that are in the industry that are trying to destroy us. We've endured hacker attacks, a lot of people saying a lot of false things, lies, you know, all these false accusations. One of the things that I really like is this article on Lifehacker that's talking about failure, how some people see failure as a lack of success or being an unsuccessful person because of non-performance or screwing up or something like that. But what it's inviting people to do is shift that perception and recognize that failure has great value. And they were kind of giving some examples of failure, like Thomas Edison, how he had to fail 1,000 times, and then that 1,000 whatever time, then the light bulb was working, you know. And since then, we've made a lot of advancements to the light bulb since then, of course. So, I mean, maybe some might even say that was just a beginning failure that worked, but still was an overall failure because we don't use that same model today. Now, when it comes to Adhitprofits, we've definitely made some changes. We've advanced. We've recognized things that need to have been changed. We've recognized progress that need to be been made. A lot of people need to start looking at failure as being a starting line. With Adhitprofits, we were just getting started. We've needed to innovate. You know, that's one of the things that it says here is with screwing up, what that is a sign of innovation. That we need to innovate. We need to start looking outside the box and finding solutions to these things. And it says here a result of perseverance. Those who have known me in the industry for a while, like what Pam was saying at the beginning of this webinar, is that I am very focused and determined. One of the things that some of these people out there in the forums, like this guy, he was trying to say that, you know, I had these other businesses out there that failed and are no longer online. What he didn't tell you is that those businesses were big learning steps for me, and not only that, but I didn't close those sites down until all of the customers were gone. That's something that he's not telling you. It wasn't that I gave up on my business and left my customers in the dust. They decided to move on, and I had to learn from that. I had to learn how to make changes. I had to learn how to be relevant. I had to learn what customers need so I can give it to them. And I also had to recognize just a whole bunch of different things. But that's something that with Adhitprofits, I have taken everything that I've learned in the past and put it into Adhitprofits. He also doesn't talk about how I started a few different businesses that are still online. Actually, 6 different websites have been online now almost 3 years, actually over 3 years. TVI PTC, for example, started April of 2010. So that's over almost 3.5 years of being online. So I truly want people to recognize that with Adhitprofits, we truly will be online for years and years to come. We're offering something that is truly viable within the industry. Everyone that's involved in a home-based business needs traffic to their website. This is absolutely relevant to the industry. Our pay plan is absolutely incredible. It's phenomenal. There's been times where I think to myself, if we were a multi-level marketing opportunity, people would actually probably make less with Adhitprofits than what they are now. Since we offer the compensation plan that we have, people with Adhitprofits can actually make more than most people do. The average person within multi-level marketing, people are actually now starting to recognize that. So hopefully more and more people start to recognize really what Adhitprofits is offering something to a struggling industry. In my one last thought, and then I'll open it for questions, is when I was going to LES Business College, one of my entrepreneur instructors, he was talking about Band-Aids, because he was talking about how important it is to provide solutions to people's problems. And he says, you know, have you ever had maybe a skin on your toe rub against your sock and your shoe, and as you're walking it creates a callus, maybe the callus falls off and it hurts. Every step of the way hurts. And the only thing that you want at that time is something to cover that injury, be it a Band-Aid or something that cushions and comforts that irritation. It's not like it's extremely painful, but you just want to take that pain out of your step. You just want to make it a little bit easier to make that next step. And he said that when he actually was in a situation like that, he was attending a conference out of town and he couldn't find a Band-Aid. He went into a convenience store, and of course they're selling a box of Band-Aids for some exorbitant price, and he was happy to pay it because it was taking care of the pain, the discomfort that he was having. And that's what I look at with Adhitprofits, is that this is kind of a Band-Aid for a struggling industry. There's a lot of people out there who are not making any money in their income opportunities. And with Adhitprofits, they can begin making money. There's a lot of people out there in this industry that are involved in high-yield investment plans, and they don't make money either because they're getting scammed. You know, there's a lot of these types of opportunities out there that are taking advantage of people, or people that are struggling to make any money because they can't refer, and they mainly can't refer because their family and their friends and their neighbors don't want to hear about their businesses. They just don't. And so they're turning to the internet to find a place to advertise. Where can they go to find effective advertising? And they might struggle with one advertising resource or another, but with Adhitprofits, we've actually received commendations, testimonials from people saying, I have never, ever been able to refer anyone to anything before. But now with Adhitprofits, you're advertising, I got my very first customer. How exciting. How exciting is that? You know, the advertising resources on Adhitprofits absolutely work. And like what I said before, is we're getting more visitors to our website than the top multi-level marketing companies. So absolutely we can help bring more customers to anyone's website who's trying to build something, a business, a list, get referrals to pay-to-click websites, what have you. So on that note, I want to go ahead and open up to see what questions we have tonight, and then I'll turn the time back over to Pam to close us out. All right, the first question is talking about basically when does this start, and I'm guessing you're probably knowing what time it starts now. Now, if you're ever clicking on that link to go to the webinars, whatever webinar link that you click on, there is also a link right there that shows you the time of the webinar in your time zone. So if you're ever concerned or questioning of what time the webinar is going to start, when you click on the link, take a look and check out what that time is for your time zone. All right, the next question says, hi Charles, can you explain what the rotator is, please, and how it works? Don't have anyone else to ask, thank you. In case you asked that before I gave information on that, basically what you're doing is you're loading up different websites, maybe even just a single website into your rotator. And just to show you what that rotator looks like, here's one link. This is mine. And as you can see, it's coming up with a different website, and also above there's a picture of myself and my son, and then two banners, and then here it says click here to open the site in a new window, and here it says place your banners above starting for only $10. Now each time that you go to that website, because it's a rotator, what it's doing is rotating through different websites. And so you can promote many different websites using a single web link, as well as at the same time helping you promote Adhitprofits and getting referrals to Adhitprofits. Because if anyone clicks on this link here, they will go to your referral link on Adhitprofits, as well as if they click on the logo. It'll also go to Adhitprofits, your referral link. So that helps you get more referrals to Adhitprofits, as well as promote anything. The main link that I'm promoting Adhitprofits with is this. And so you can see that each time that it loads, it's just the very same exact website. And so that's what I'm personally promoting a lot of different places to help me get referrals to Adhitprofits, as well as to give exposure to our advertiser banners up here. as well as giving exposure to Adhitprofits in general to help bring us more people to help raise the revenues for you to share in. So hopefully that helps answer what the URL rotator is and how that works just a little bit better for you. The next question says, "Good day, Charles. I really like the way you run Adhitprofits. I had trouble getting my banner ads underway. I posted this code into the banner URL box, and the banner picture showed, but when I clicked next, it told me the URL was wrong. I used the same code on Easy Hits for you, and it accepted OK. The code is..." Okay, so what you're looking at there is if the image doesn't end in like a JPEG or a GIF or a PNG file, then the system isn't going to allow it. So just make sure that the actual image of it, of your banner, is going to be an actual image. And if you don't have an actual image, then you can always download it and host it on Facebook. A lot of people are doing that these days, is downloading and then uploading it to Facebook as one of your images, and then taking the image URL from Facebook and using that as your banner URL. There's other free resources as well, like image URL. I forget what the actual website is, but there's lots of different free image hosts out there. So you can always do it that way, and that way you can get an actual image URL that can be used. If it's not there, then that's not going to work. Another thing that you might be if that's not the solution there for you, Harry, the next solution is maybe check your budget, because if your banner size is 468 by 60, it's got to be at least $10 as your budget. And you can set your daily budget to anything, but your base budget needs to be $10. The 125 by 125 needs to be at least 50, and then the 728 by 90 needs to be at least 100. And if you've already purchased for clicks, if you have clicks still available, you don't have to add more. You just have to have that as your minimum for the banner to save. So hopefully that helps answer your questions. If you do have any other difficulties with that, please contact support, and we can review that a little bit more as it's specific with your account. The next question says, "Dear Charles, thank you very much for the great potential that Adhitprofits offers to all of its members. You have excellent communication skills. When I'm in a position to do so, I will be purchasing additional shares to help my family, friends, and others who are in difficult times. Adhitprofits is an answer to prayers for many people. Thank you very much, Sergio, for that support." The next question says, "I purchased a $10 mini share for my account balance. When I went to set up the $10 banner, when I set it up, it made me pay again. The same thing happened today when I purchased 2 mini shares. When I go to set it up, it makes me pay again. How can I use those mini shares that I paid for set up for a banner ad?" I think, Wendy, to clarify for you, is the mini shares aren't banners, they're text ads. So I think that might be what's going on, is you're going to set up a banner and it's having you pay, because to pay for the banner service, that is a separate service from the mini text ads. So just make sure you're going in to set up text ads for the text ad services that you're purchasing, and the banner ads for the banner ad service, those are going to be sold separately, and that's why you're being asked to pay separately with them. The next question is from John, asking, "Why don't we earn from each treasure box click ad we click?" Because usually I will click like 10 ads and get 4 cents or 8 cents, but most of the time I get 4 cents for clicking on 10 ads for the treasure box, when I thought we would get 4 cents for each. Really with that, John, the treasure box is, you're hunting for treasure. Sometimes when, in a movie or a game or something, if you're hunting for treasure, you might not get the treasure every single time. But one of the things that I mentioned earlier in this webinar is that everyone actually does win with each of those, because the revenues from each purchase is being shared with you and everyone else. So even though you personally are not receiving an additional 4 cents when you click on the treasure ad, you are actually receiving a portion of every single one of those ads. Now, if we were to award more, or if we awarded everyone for every click, then the shared revenue wouldn't be there. And the main reason why we added the a guaranteed traffic purchase is to help increase the shared revenues that everyone benefits from. The next question says, hi Charles, I was unable to attend the webinar for the last 2 weeks. It is nice to listen to you and the positive motivation that you instill, albeit in the challenges you and us face in ad hits. Keep it up. Now, why do we have to pay forward in the mini shares for $10? Oh, maybe they're asking why don't we? That will be something added soon. I've turned that into my programmer. I don't know if it's going to be available tomorrow or sometime next week, but there is going to be a mini share purchase or a pay it forward option, and it's only going to be one. So you can pay it forward to your referral once. Now you can do that to an unlimited number of referrals, but to a single forward position. And the main reason why we want to add it is for a sample, for them to get a taste. Like if you're in a grocery store, for example, and you smell something good, on the other aisle, you go over to it and you taste it and you say, you know what, I know what I'm having for dinner tonight, and you grab it, you put it in your cart, and you're ready to have it for dinner. That's what a lot of these people that are involved with Adhitprofits is. They're out there talking with people about Adhitprofit services, the revenue sharing aspect, and things like that. They want to give their people a chance to taste it and kind of get them more excited about it and not have to actually make that initial purchase on their own. But what I also recognize in my own personal experience, the people that I paid it forward to have been among the most lazy. And I don't want to offend anybody. I mean, there's definitely a number of people who are very successful with paying it forward, but for the most part, in my experience, paying it forward generally yields no good results. When it comes to growing a business and growing a downline and getting real motivated people, especially since it is only $10. I mean, to me, there's a part of me that just feels like if somebody in this industry are afraid to spend $10 on advertising, then they're really in the wrong industry. I mean, this is an internet marketing business. Everything that's involved with anything to make money from home has to deal with internet marketing. And so if someone's afraid of spending $10 on internet advertising, then maybe they're just in the wrong business. I don't know, but I do recognize that, from a sponsor's point of view, that it can help. And so there is going to be that option of just buying one pay it forward position with those mini shares. That's going to be released here soon. The next question is, how does one purchase a banner ad with the shares that you have? The banners that are on the website, those are actually separate purchases. But if you're talking about the directory listing, after you purchase or bump a listing, there is a set up your listing option under the members area, under set up your advertisements. I believe it's the first option. Text ads are listed right there as well. So as you're purchasing the shares, setting up the banners or the text ads are just right there in the set up your advertisement menu. But the banners, they are separate services. So there is a red button that you can click on to purchase or start purchasing a banner, and there's a video that steps you through how to set up your banner and how to complete your purchase. The next question says, hi, if I share $45, give me back $56, why you say in the last webinar that some people have up to 100 shares when they are receiving a few cents a day? When it comes to how it works, you're receiving of revenues, for clicking 10 ads. As I gave some examples before, like NeoBucks, ClickSense, clicking 10 ads, you're generally not going to even make a few cents. 10 ads on NeoBucks is 1 cent, just so that you know. But if you're looking at NeoBucks, you can see that yesterday they paid out over $100,000. How are they doing that? Well, it's because people have learned leverage. They've learned how to refer people and start to earn money from their referrals, especially if you're referring the right type of people. With Adhitprofits, since we do offer really good advertising services, I would recommend that you get out in the industry and invite people who need advertising services, who are actually wanting to tap into the quality advertising services that we offer. what we're finding are the people that are purchasing the advertising services are actually, for the most part, also repurchasing advertising. In fact, of the advertising services that you're looking at on Adhitprofits, the ads, for the most part, the ads have been purchased by people who are actually repurchasers, people who have repeatedly purchased advertising on Adhitprofits. And the reason why I say that, and I hope that stands out for you, is people don't want to buy crap. They don't want to buy junk. They want to buy something that really is good. If they are not benefiting from their purchase, they're not going to keep buying. So obviously, if people are continually buying advertising services on Adhitprofits, it's benefiting them. Now, if you're referring people that need advertising service, then what's going to happen to you is you're going to continually receive commissions. So maybe somebody is saying, you know, I'm not making very much money, maybe just a few cents a day on clicking 10 ads on Adhitprofits. But you know, you could actually be earning a lot more getting out there and telling people about the advertising services that can benefit them in building their businesses, helping them get referrals to those pay-to-click websites, helping them grow their list, growing their downlines, and making more money online. Because Adhitprofits in of itself is a way to make money, but hopefully if you're here to earn money, you don't look at it only from the no referring required aspect, because you're really not going to make a whole lot that way. Yes, you can earn that way, but like I said before, if everyone has that same mindset, then you're looking at a McDonald's without any customers. And we're only 5 months old, so hopefully more and more of our members start to see, hey, look, this is something that can truly benefit the industry. Let's get out there, let's share this service, and instead of making a few cents a day on advertising shared revenues, getting this out there to the this entire industry, you'd be making a lot more in shared revenue if everyone was using these services. All right, the next question says, how does one purchase a banner? Well, there's a link on the inside of your member area that it's a red one. It's up in the upper right-hand corner. You can get started using that. And it's really easy. It's really straightforward, but I do recognize that, you know, some people are not, you know, so sometimes I forget that, you know, there's people that are just barely beginning in the industry. So I do have a banner or video that steps you through. Just a quick side note, you know, when I was learning Spanish, I went through Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and by Spanish 2, our Spanish teacher was teaching us new vocabulary in Spanish. And in our classroom, we had to interview each other in Spanish, and we were really encouraged not to use any English while in the classroom. And it was actually, at that point, you know, when talking with people about Spanish, I just kind of assumed that everyone knew Spanish because I was on that level, but there's a lot of people that don't know Spanish. Now there's been a number of years that have passed. I hardly remember any of that at all, but the reason why I bring that up is sometimes I forget that there's people that just don't have that fluency in setting up ads. So take a look for that red button. I think it says something like set up your banner ad. When you click on it, there's a video that steps you through to help you make it a little bit easier on you. The next question says, is there a link to the Alexa ranking showing Adhitprofits only so I can promote on websites which update daily? You can view, if you go to the Adhitprofits About page, you can see just Adhitprofits, and that shows our entire length of being online. So you can definitely access the link there, or you can just go to alexa.com and enter in adhitprofits.com and do a search with that, and you can come up with that same exact graph. This is a captured link, a captured image that also updates daily for you. The next question says, I have more than one Adhitprofits account and only one Solid Trust Pay account which funded all of the Adhitprofits accounts. Now I can only withdraw from one Adhitprofits account due to changes Adhitprofits has made. Can this be corrected? Well, Reggie, with that particular change, I'm really sorry that it has affected you in that way. As I had mentioned earlier, changes are really only made to benefit everybody within the business. Now, as you would set up multiple different Adhitprofits accounts, you can set up multiple different Solid Trust Pay accounts and withdraw your earnings from those different accounts to separate Solid Trust Pay accounts. That's one solution to that. Like I said, there's lots of reasons for that. It's to benefit the members on so many different ways, but one of the things that really took into consideration with that change is how hackers and fraudsters have exploited that, and so that's why that particular rule had to be introduced to the business. And in my opinion as well, there's not really any reason why members really need more than one account, especially when each account you can set up as many advertisements as you want. Now, if you're setting up different accounts to get around the limitations on shares, that's mainly one of the reasons why that was put into place. But there's a number of reasons, mainly because of the exploits that fraudsters and hackers were using to utilize our system for money trafficking and money laundering and things like that, where we had to put a stop to it for legal reasons and compliance reasons to make sure the business could stay online for years and years to come. The next question says, if I buy 5 minis with money from my shared revenues, I'm doubling my money, right? Well, if you think about it, each time that your balance increases because of earnings on your account, you are making a purchase. And so you're using your actual earnings to make a purchase. So I don't know about technically doubling your money, but you're definitely making a purchase of advertising service and being able to benefit more in the revenue sharing on multiple different shares at the same time with those mini shares. Okay, so the next question says, why don't we have it? I don't know what they're asking. All right, looks like we've come to the last question, and that is, in order to purchase banner ads, it costs a considerable amount of money in exchange rates and processor fees, especially if you take money out of Adhitprofits. You are hit with a processor fee. And then the question goes on saying, you are hit with a processor fee with the withdrawal. So then hit again with putting the money back into Adhitprofits. Is there anything that can be done to reduce these costs? Well, you can definitely use your balance to make purchases on Adhitprofits, so you don't have to continually withdraw and then repurchase using the earnings that you just had, sent to your processor. You can certainly use your earnings to make purchases on adhitprofits.com using your account balance. And you can do that if you have enough in your balance to make the purchase. Then in the drop-down, when you're selecting your processor, your earnings is one of those options. To make a partial purchase, you select the processor that you want to use, and then when you hit the preview button, there's an option, there's a box that you can select that will use your balance and then the rest to come out of your processor. So that way you can save on some fees. Looks like we've reached the end. Thank you everyone for being here for this last hour. Thank you very much everyone for being a part of Adhitprofits. Please, next webinar is going to be starting next Thursday, same time, same link that you have. Invite as many people as you can to these webinars so they can become educated on what Adhitprofits is, as well as every single day we've got Monday through Friday webinars that are opportunity, that are just focused, and they're just short, they're 30 minutes, and they're just short, talking about what Adhitprofits is and how Adhitprofits can benefit people in building up businesses and making more money online. At this time I'm going to turn the time back to Pam to close us out. Pam, are you still here?
Hi. I just wanted to remind everybody about something that I think is a lot of fun. If you use ahpshare.me as your link shortener, you can take that shortened link. Now, Facebook will let you advertise with that particular shortener. And if you advertise this over a few days, then come back, use your link that you shortened, and add a plus sign to the end. It will take you and let you see your statistics, which shows you which websites are getting you the most hits. To me, that's a lot of fun. I also want to remind everybody that we're the ones that did it in the first place. We're the ones that put Adhitprofits over the top. We can keep Adhitprofits on the top. It's very simple. Just show everybody Where is the best place to advertise online? And remember, Charles only uses real money. There's no paper money here. There are no lies. There's no deception. It's only real money. So if the revenues go up and go down, that's just like a real business. The happiest people in AHP are the ones who pay attention. Advertise every day and keep track of what Charles is trying to do with his updates. If you ever need any help placing your banners or making your rotators, you can contact me, PeopleString Pamo, on Skype. I'm happy to help anybody anytime. And Charles, I want to thank you for your tenacity, patience, and especially your sense of humor through the ups and downs of starting this wonderful business. Everybody, if you hang around, you'll see Charles as I do, and every day he keeps proving to me that magnificence stems from adversity. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next Thursday night.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be